What's up, guys? Welcome back to Pete's Basement. We're folks with gods that time. We're here for the 5th episode, seeing what comes out this week, and well, we're kind of minus a few people, as you might know. We're minus one less.
Oh man, Sergio went to overtime today. Ridiculous. Oh, sorry. Oh. There you go.
Thanks.
Continue.
Where you got that from?
I don't know.
Not a patient, I hope.
I don't know. I'm kind of glad you brought it, though.
Well, you say so.
Want to bring up our guest Danny today. He's taking Adam's place. Adam doesn't feel good today. Welcome, Danny, to the Hysteria.
Welcome.
First thing we're going to bring to light today, the series that concluded this week was Silver Surfer, In Thy Name, issues 1 through 4. I first picked this up because, well, Michael Turner did the cover, and I kind of suck. I'll follow Turner almost anywhere except to Aspen Comics, because that's just not cool.
Oh, I think you said Aspen.
Well, I've been there, so it's alright.
Yeah?
It's guaranteed.
This was actually a really cool story about these two warring races that they basically really wanted a war, and they were going to get one way or the other. And making a long story short, they kind of throw the Silver Surfer in the middle of it and make it look like it's all his fault. I don't want to ruin too much for you, but Surfer's got some pretty powerful allies in this, and he kind of calls in their help to kind of quell the voices of these two races and calm them down a little bit and say, you know, well, I'm not going to fight you guys because fighting doesn't solve any problems in war, and I'm not going to talk you to death because you're not going to listen to me anyway. So I'm going to call in my friends, and you guys are going to have to work together or they're going to kick your ass. I'm not going to tell you nothing more about it. I definitely suggest you pick this up. I showed my friends here a couple of panels in the book, and they were overly interested. Another cool book out this week, last week actually, was Daredevil 104. Really nice to be seeing Mr. Fear brought up as another cool villain because, you know, I don't know if anybody else is reading this, but it's basically been like fucking Bullseye and the Kingpin left and right.
Non-stop.
A lot of gangsters, drug dealers, a lot of real criminals, and now he's finally messing around with a supervillain.
It's about time. He's got some pretty cool gadgets. They're kind of bringing him up a little like Scarecrow and Batman, but a little bit more badass. He's really targeting some personal friends of Matt Murdock.
Yeah.
So that was really cool.
I would just like to add that Mr. Fear looks a lot like Mask of the Phantasm.
He really does.
Yeah, that's a
remember
good
that
point.
Batman cartoon?
That was an awesome cartoon.
That is. It's a great cartoon.
Another sleeper that, I mean, everybody's been really disgusted with Spider-Man lately.
Very
but
so.
Last week they brought out Spider-Man with Great Power, and this was actually a pretty good issue as far as I was concerned. It basically takes place in 4 panels in Amazing Fantasy 15. This is basically when Spider-Man gets his powers for the first time, and he's a wrestler still, and he's really living it up. He's enjoying his life, and Uncle Ben is still alive. Like I said, and originally in Fantasy 15, this whole story would have taken up 4 panels. That when Stan Lee wrote it, you were seeing Daily Bugle covers and things, and you know you were alluded to the fact that a lot of time was passing by, but you know they just fast forwarded, and you know in 3 pages Uncle Ben was shot. So you really have no idea. This is the only time you'll ever see Peter Parker actually enjoying himself without that whole "with great power comes great responsibility" fucking monkey on his shoulder. So I would definitely suggest you pick this one up. You know, it's out of mainstream comics, so you won't have to really worry about this whole fucking... what the hell are they even doing anymore with Spider-Man? Brand new day. See, my brain has officially locked it out, and every now and then I have to bring it back to my consciousness, and I don't like to do that, but...
Will you write it down?
No, I don't want you to write it down, because then if I look at it, I'm going to remember it.
Oh.
I'm going to bitch about Brand New Day later. With Great Power was, first issue was good. I'm going to pick up the rest of them. I definitely would recommend it to you guys. And you guys wanted to mention a book. I didn't pick it up this week because I just never bothered, but Ms. Marvel, something cool happened in there.
Yeah.
Fill me in.
Ms. Marvel is...
That's ending a storyline, that issue. But
yeah, with some alien and crap.
Right, but
it is not major.
Right, but the very end is
Tony Stark declaring that Ms. Marvel is actually a Skrull agent.
Well, may or may not be.
May or may not.
Right.
Yeah.
What does he say to her?
He says to them, the Shield.
She may or may not be a Skrull agent.
Oh, he doesn't accuse her of it. He says to somebody else.
He's talking to the Shield agents.
So he basically talked a shit talker. He's just talking smack.
No, they gotta go get her now. Next.
It's like that's the next mission.
This is going to be in her book, or is this going to be in
her book?
Her book,
okay.
It's going to start a Secret Invasion
tie-in.
Cool.
Because it's coming up in April, isn't it? Secret Invasion.
Is it that soon?
Yeah.
No, it's not a secret anymore. Thanks a lot, Ramon.
Hey, someone has to know.
One spoiler.
Spoil everything.
want to bring up another good one.
Oh, yeah.
Adam brought this one to the light when it first came out. Was the 12, and I had to get the first issue on eBay because I missed it, and stupidly I missed it because this book is so good.
It is. It's brilliant.
It's incredible. The artwork is top notch. The guy really, really has a knack for just pulling the emotion out of a character. You see it in his face when the guy's like crying on the grave, and he comes back after 60, 70 years, and his family's all dead.
Yeah.
His kids were killed in some place called Vietnam. That was really cool. That they have no idea what happened.
When that big guy's just smashing on the basement trying to get to the
he was totally desperate.
Oh man, this is good shit. It's right there next to Captain America. Captain America and 12 was just good stuff. Great character
Seems
work.
to be something about these like 1940s characters. That,
stick with the
hey, they're doing
old
them right.
Stuff, yeah, it's just good stuff.
I'll tell you one thing that they're not doing right, and I got it here somewhere on the bottom, was Ultimates 3, number 2.
No, thank God.
Now,
it's only 6 issues.
3 number 2?
Ultimates 3,
Volume 3.
Volume 3, number 2.
Two.
For those of you with Steve-isms out there, thank you. The artwork is good. I like Joe Mad's take on it. The coloring tends to be a little haphazard. I think it's a little too busy.
Yeah, I like it.
Quite busy.
The story's cool. I just have one problem, and that is Thor's Uru hammer is the same as it is in the Marvel Universe. Now, if you've been a fan of the Ultimates, as I have, for the past 3 to 4 years or so, that the line has been out. I don't even know how long it's been. Thor's had a fucking hammer with, it looks like just a giant fucking hammer. Like, it's got the pike on the end.
It actually looks a lot like Better Ray Bills or whatever.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's a lot like Better Ray Bill style.
Except it's not gold.
Yeah.
Except it's not gold.
And all of a sudden, with no explanation, he's got his hammer. His old, puny little hammer. And the way Joe Mad draws, I really would have liked to see him draw the bigger hammer.
Yeah, that
because
was cool.
it looks like he's holding just, like you and I would just pick up a fucking hammer to hit a nail. It's so little in his hand, it's not covering it. And there it is. Yeah, I gotta bring this one. I gotta do this. Newest issue of Brand New Day. It's like right up there with Countdown, guys.
Yes, that's great. Countdown sucks, and this is just as bad.
Well, now it's DB.
Check out the Daily Bugle DB with an exclamation point.
Or double penetration.
Or double penetration.
That's how you feel like, because there's just 2 fucking nails going right into both ears. That's what they fucking do.
They said they should have DB and a
Just to defend it a little bit, I was mad that it restarted everything. I kind of got used to the fact that he had organic webbing and everything. But now that he went back to the web shooters, I kind of like the little, the little.
Oh, I'm really pleased to see the web shooters back.
I really like that. It makes him smarter.
They changed it because
and it gives him more, something else to do. Like he don't got money now, and now he goes to like the whole issue with like no web shooters because since the last issue he ran out and he hasn't been able to replace it.
No, you're right.
So it adds a little more conflict into his,
I definitely enjoy that.
And that's actually good.
I just wish they would have not made him a fucking, he's got to be 27 at this point in, comics time, even though he's, 60 in real world time. But, he's once again struggling. I can't afford the ingredients for my web shooters. Come on, dude. You're not in high school anymore. Get a fucking job. Go to McDonald's and get a fucking job.
He's working at the DB.
But barely. Again, he's barely working. Again, they said it.
You also got to think about it. If this man was working at McDonald's, and let's say an explosion happened downtown, is he just going to leave his job to
Well, it is only McDonald's.
Because those fries, if you leave those fries burning in the...
They do it all the time anyway.
So you think about it, Spider-Man will be constantly getting new jobs and only getting 1 paycheck for each job, because right after his first paycheck, he's fired.
And he's supposed to be so smart. You think he'd be smarter than that.
That irks me. He's super brilliant. He can create this fucking webbing that's unbelievable. But,
you would think he'd figure out how to,
how to do it homemade style or something.
Right,
yeah, Tony Stark's rich. Reed Richards rich. He's broke.
Maybe he should take a page from Catwoman's book and maybe smooch off a little bit of the money of the thugs he beats up.
Yeah, that would.
Maybe he can borrow some money from Mary Jane as a fucking stripper. I don't know what. Check out the pop-ups that are coming up right now.
Right.
And this little part of my bitching moment is going to be called "Who Dressed This Bitch?"
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck is up with that costume? Dave said it best, man. It's like a fucking half bell-bottom pantsuit cape thing that just goes into nowhere. It doesn't attach anywhere. Who's the fucking fashion designer that drew that shit up?
Well, I think they knew because she's not a real superhero. That they just decided to give her the worst.
God, I hope that's their answer to that. Because, I mean, those little gold, they're supposed to be gold sequences. It looks like she's got fucking corn on the cob on her costume.
And she doesn't?
No, it's actually, it might be corn on the cob. I don't know.
I was reading it, I got hungry.
I mean, between this and the fucking Ultimate shit, it's just like, I can picture the Marvel editorial staff in a meeting and Joe Q's just sitting there with a fucking big bottle of Jose Cuervo like, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Steve, and this is the Characters That Never Should Have Been Created segment. What I'm going to talk about today is Fool Killer, because the name alone is ridiculous. I mean, he doesn't like fools, who really does? But he was created in 1974, which was, what, 120 years ago? And his first appearance was in Man-Thing, which has a hyphen in the middle, which is a little weird, because it's a man, but it's a thing, man-thing, thing-man, you don't know. Reminds me of a woman who got married and kept her maiden name, Dolores Man-Thing, something like that. The first Fool Killer was Ross Everbest, which sounds like a battery or something. But he was a religious nut, and he wanted to kill all the fools that were sinners and criminals, and he had his purification gun, which was like any other gun that ended someone's life. But eventually he got arrested and was thrown in jail and to the insane asylum, I believe. And then there was Greg Salinger, who was the second Fool Killer. He heard about the first Fool Killer and said, hey, that's for me. But he was more preoccupied with materialism, so he probably would have offed Madonna at that time, because she's a material girl, I believe. I could be wrong. But he was stopped by Spider-Man and interviewed by Captain America, and he also found his end in an insane asylum. The third Fool Killer, and I think the current one, is Kurt Gerhardt. And he has a problem with people who have instant gratification. So I guess anyone who goes on the internet he would have killed. So be careful. Be very careful what you do, because look behind you, there may be a Fool Killer on the loose. Close the windows and lock them. So Fool Killer, let me know, write in, see if you agree with me on that. You may like Fool Killer, I don't know. I mean, if anything, we should change the name to, like, Idiot, Maimer, or something along those lines. But let me know, and I'll catch you in the next Characters That Never Should Have Been Created.
That sounds like it. I mean, he's not doing a damn video, but...
There's a couple things in DC that are pretty good right now, and, you know, I haven't mentioned, I've been meaning to get to it for a while, but Brave and the Bold has been a pretty good sleeper issue for me for a while. I picked it up just because I like the cover that George Perez did the first time, was Batman and Green Lantern, and I liked his work a lot, and I liked the two characters, so I was like, alright, these two basically hate each other. If you remember that issue of Green Lantern, when they got into the fight after Hal first came back, right after Rebirth, and him and Batman were arguing, and he punched him in the face, and he knocked him down.
Which I wasn't very happy about.
No, but that was another take back on when Batman punched Guy Gardner in the face and knocked him down with one shot. So it was just like a retwisted around, basically. And I actually think it was Guy Gardner standing in the background like, one shot! And I forget who it was that when he knocked out Guy Gardner, and the background panel was exactly the same.
Say that 3 times fast.
Background panel?
No, Guy Gardner.
Guy Gardner? No.
They can't do it.
Not at all. But it's been a really cool set of issues that, you see guys that don't usually get to team up together, like Supergirl and Lobo. And Lobo's a big pervert, so that was a really funny issue. And he's just constantly making cracks at her about a fucking chest or her legs or whatever. And we got to see Flash and the Metal Men in the last issue. I would definitely pick it up. The first arc is really worth it. They got this thing called the Book of Destiny, which tells the whole thing about the future. And the only guys who ain't in it are the Challengers of the Unknown. And currently they have the book, since they're the only ones who can read it without going insane or something. But definitely worth picking up. I would check it out if I were you. They probably got the graphic of the first 6 issues coming out probably tomorrow or so. Next one I wanted to bring up, you guys picked up Teen Titans Year 1.
Yes.
Tell me about that one.
That was some good stuff.
It's pretty good.
It's Year 1 of the Teen Titans, the original old school Teen Titans, not the current presentation of them. And it's good. It's a retelling of their origin, which leads into the Titans book coming out later on this year. And my biggest thing, and Danny's also, is that Aqualad's a bitch. He's a younger version of Aquaman, right? But he's afraid of fish.
Yeah, how you Aqualad and scared of fish? You live in the sea with them. How you scared of them? How you gonna run away?
You guys weren't joking about that? That's
no, we were not joking.
Yeah,
You can see it right in the very first panel. He goes to try to help Aquaman I don't know, Aquaman is destroying some submarine or whatever. He goes to try to help him, but fish are coming out of somewhere, and he's trying to dodge the fish, and he's covering his face, and he's all scared. Like, why are you scared of fish, bro?
Is he Aquaman's son?
No.
Or is he's just
Nah,
like
he's
some
not.
dude?
He's
Just some psychic.
Yeah.
Well,
Why do all sidekicks have to wear their fucking undies and no pants?
It's a rule.
he's wearing
Is it?
pants.
It's in the union, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's underwater. Nobody can see him.
That's understandable, but
It's
even
cold water,
you know
too.
nobody
You
looks
wanna
good in
cover up the
speedo.
shrinkage.
Nobody.
Shrinkage?
Shrinkage.
They should really be wearing shorts and a cup, personally, because you know Ramon's right.
Especially like if a really big fish comes by.
Like, you know, Donna Troy shows up at the end and he's all like, probably
No,
because his fucking
Gaga.
Willie's like,
Yeah. But it's actually pretty good. I like the way they're going with the characters and the
Yeah.
interaction between them. It's pretty good
There's
stuff.
a good bond between
There's a
them.
good
which
bond between them, yeah.
leads to the Teen Titans being such a great team.
Cool.
JSA came out too. That's good from DC.
It's an Alex Ross cover.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
It's really more about the
Oh,
legacies.
you can't beat it.
And the JSA are trying to train the younger members and the great-great-grandchildren of the founding fathers of JSA, which are still alive, go figure. And
That's that
it's
whole
okay, but
alternate
it's
universe
building
stuff.
up. It's just a build-up issue. But I like it, and
I
would
see
recommend getting it.
Kingdom Come Superman still on the team.
Oh, yes, very much
I
so.
picked that issue up a while back,
Yeah.
just, you know, because I like that character.
Actually, this also, spoiler alert, introduces Gog. Magog.
Magog? Because I remember they brought Gog in Superman a
Yeah,
while
no, I
back.
think that was just strictly Gog.
Nah,
Gog.
They're really pulling this to right toward Kingdom Come, aren't they?
Yeah, they're really
I mean, between the introduction of Damian Wayne into mainstream comics and, you know, basically what they're doing with Captain Marvel now really ties itself in, but we're just kind of waiting for Billy Batson to go insane, you know, just like he did in fucking Kingdom. What's going on with Nightwing?
Nightwing is
This should be part 2 of the current storyline, right?
yeah, and this one, Dick Grayson has set up his secret identity in New York City. He works as a curator at the Cloisters, whatever.
Oh, that's cool.
And his base is actually at the Cloisters. And he called his pal up, Bruce Wayne, and Bruce brought a bunch of properties all over Manhattan. Because traffic in Manhattan is shit, and you can't be a superhero and stuck in traffic.
That's
so he
true.
has different buildings all throughout Manhattan, and that's it. Wayne Tech just bought it all, and now that's it. Secret bases all over the city.
So wait, because now he has different buildings all over the city. There's no more traffic. What if he wants to go from one building to the other?
Well, he probably tunnels, different costumes. He could fly from one building to the other. He has a glider now.
Fly.
All right.
Yeah,
What if it's windy?
he's fine.
Yeah,
It's fun.
Yeah, he's
basically
fine. It's flat.
Sitting at the bus stop waiting for the fucking Q34.
Oh.
That cape and yeah.
Just hoping never has to go to like Queens or something.
Because Batman, you know, he never has change, so you would have to ask people on the bus for change for Metro.
And if he had changed, where would he keep in that tight ass costume?
He's got a utility belt, man.
Who, Nightwing?
Oh, then we're talking about Batman.
Oh, we are.
Except Batman
Yeah,
never had any
Batman.
change.
Oh,
Batman don't need change.
No, Nightwing's just got his fucking...
Especially if the movies are tell us
Spandex.
correctly, Batman has a credit card.
Oh God, you brought that shit up.
If you're going by the movies, you know.
Now, is it Batman or is it
Which
saying,
movie?
Bruce Wayne?
And Batman and Robin when they were
I never
what
made a
is
Batman and Robin movie.
Yeah.
it? Yeah, the Batman and
Yeah.
Robin movie with Poison Ivy.
No,
Yeah,
that never happened.
What's
Yeah, that never did happen. I block it out of my mind too.
Yeah, that was.
He had a charge
Oh.
card?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a
That
Batman
was
charge.
charged for Poison Ivy, right?
He charged it.
Bomb.
Poison Ivy.
Fucking
Yeah, that was. Yeah, it was bad.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to a very special edition of Collecting Comics with Pete. I want to talk to you guys about something important today. This segment is part of a two-parter called Patience. Now, over the past few weeks, I've shared with you a lot of my auction plunderings, and I've given you a few tips on how to succeed on eBay and, you know, win a couple of cool things yourself. First of all, remember, make a want list. No good collector should ever be without one. Always know what you're looking for, so money isn't randomly burning a hole in your pocket and you're just not typing in searches just for the sake of looking for comic books. Another thing was, remember, look for sellers with multiple books off of your want list so you can save on shipping. A lot of guys got, you know, add 10 cents for every other book you purchase. And remember, speaking of shipping, look for sellers you can trust. Guys who are going to overcharge you by $3 on shipping are probably the same assholes that are going to overgrade a book just so they can charge you more money. Now, like I said, today's segment is called Patience. I want to talk to you about how to find those really nice gems on eBay because they are out there, and then what to do with them once you do find them. And along the way, I'm going to tell you about a blunder I made over the course of the past 2 weeks. Now, let's talk a little bit about how to search for stuff. I think I speak for everybody when I say that the internet age has made us all lazy, and whenever we're typing in keywords on Google or Yahoo or whatever, you're just not typing everything in, you're putting in keywords. Same goes for eBay. When I'm trying to knock out those amazing Spider-Mans off of my run, I don't type in Spider-Man, I never do. I write in amazing, the number I'm looking for, and then I'll sort through the results after that. And a lot of that comes back to where I want to talk to you guys about today, is how to search by category. And you know, this is like a fucking no-brainer, but it bit me, so I'm going to tell you so it doesn't hurt you guys. I have a bit of a guilty pleasure, and that guilty pleasure is Dark Horse's X. It was out in the mid-90s, ran for 25 issues. This guy was like the Punisher and Snake Eyes rolled into one. I didn't talk much. He wouldn't kill you right away. If you fucked up, he would put a slash somewhere, like either a broken mirror, blood stain on a door, or he would just fuck your face up. And if he came back and you didn't clean up your act and he had to complete the X, he killed you. This guy was awesome. And like I said, it's a guilty pleasure of mine. I ran for 25 issues, and I really, really wanted to get all 25 so I could read them through. Problem was I managed to complete the full run on eBay, save for 3 issues, 15, 17, and 19. And 15 was especially hard to find. I found 17 and 19 in a really big issue lot of just about 20 Dark Horse issues, random stuff that a lot of it I wasn't interested in. But 17 and 19 were there. It was like $15. And I didn't pick it up, but I kept looking around for 15. And I would type in X Dark Horse 15. Nothing ever came up. Problem is, if you type in X on eBay, you can have 350 pages worth of results. Good luck searching through that for one fucking comic book. Until finally, one time, typed in it about 2 weeks ago, X15 Dark Horse, and something came up. In a huge-ass lot of other X books, a lot of them that I had already, 17 happened to be among them. It was all together for like $30, $35 with shipping, I think. 19 wasn't with them. So now I'm going to have to spend $35 and then get the other lot for 15 with the fucking, just to get number 19. Now that's $45 for 3 books that should really run about $2 a piece. What choice do I have? So I was not letting number 15 get away from me. I picked it up, actually I managed to, fortunately the guy put up a 30% off on the auction. I got the whole thing for like $23 shipping. I lucked out. So I got my number 15, I still needed 19, and I was moments away from ordering that $15 lot and paying way too much for books that I already have just to get one issue. And you remember last week, I was talking to you guys about my comic shop on eBay. And as I was looking through for some nice, amazing Spider-Mans to pick up, I noticed on the left-hand side he had his categories branched out into different publishers. Marvel, DC, Independent, Dark Horse, Image, etc. And I said, you know, fuck it. I hit Dark Horse. And I just hit X. See what comes up. And I had literally about 10 to 15 pages to search through. But, you know, I wasn't going nowhere. I had a beer, and there was nothing on TV. So I said, fuck it, let me just search. And amidst the Star Wars X Squadron Supreme bullshit, I finally come across a full run of X from number 1 through 25, each issue for about $1.50. But the problem was, this never came up in my original eBay searches because the guy didn't write X Dark Horse because he already had it under the publisher's category. He just wrote X Volume 1, 1995, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 21, whatever. There was no mention of Dark Horse in the auction title, and that's what you guys got to watch out for. Remember to refine your search. Look over the categories. Narrow that search down to as much as possible. And if you've got 20 pages to work through, consider yourself lucky that it's not 200 pages to work through. Remember to refine your search, because it came back and bit me in the ass, and yeah, I only spent $25 extra, and in the grand scheme of things, that's not a lot of money, but it could have been a lot worse. It could have been a really important book that, you know, you couldn't find and you really wanted. So remember, you're looking for a Spider-Man and you make the foolish mistake of typing in Spider-Man. Leave out the dash once in a while. Type in Spider-Man straight through. You never know what kind of seller is going to have a book out there that doesn't know jack about comics, and you could find a really nice book for cheap because nobody's looking for Spider-Man spelled out right without the dash. Everybody knows if you're a comic fan, there's a dash in Spider-Man. There's a dash in X-Men. leave it out every now and then when you're searching on eBay. You never know what you're going to find. So that's all for this week. Next week, I'm going to talk to you guys about finding the more expensive stuff and really what to do when you get there. Because if you're going to, if I'm spending over $100 on a book, I'm probably going to want to see it first. So we're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about the upcoming Comic-Con. See you guys in a week. Have a good one.
It was dang off Christian Bale.
Yes.
You know, George Clooney probably could have been a cool Batman if not
Could
for
have been.
Joel Schumacher.
Could have been.
Yes.
Yeah, because you made Michael Keaton short ass a good Batman. You could have made George Clooney a good
jump in
Batman.
front of a fucking bus.
Seriously.
Moving on. X-Men Divided We Stand.
Yes. Good shit. See, this is a good starting on point for anybody who didn't finish reading.
Up to
the
issue
Fire
8,
Conference.
guys.
But,
Give me time. I'll be
what's
done
that?
by
5:21.
tomorrow.
So is this the beginning of a new arc?
Yeah, Divided
Yeah.
We Stand.
Yeah.
Which isn't exactly divided. In this issue, spoiler alert, they're on vacation.
They go to the Savage Land.
Yeah, the Savage Land is Cyclops and the White Queen, and she's in a bikini the whole time. They're getting it on, and she's checking him out and all that fun shit, and he's just Mr. Pimp. In the words of Adam, he's like grew major testicles and shit. And he has. He's just the man. And who is it? Nightcrawler, Logan, and Colossus are out in Europe.
Yeah.
Hey,
they
whatever.
go to Russia.
Yeah. And in San Francisco is Angel. I'll leave that alone. But,
Mighty.
Flew there.
they're just on vacation, and
They all fly in
and
San
you gotta find
Francisco.
out. And you will find out what happens to them later on. It's a great jumping on point, and it's only $2.99, unlike One More Damn Day, which was $3.99. But I'm not bitter. No,
I'm sending Joe Q a bill, man.
seriously.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Freaking bill.
$3.99, 3 times a month, man. That's
No,
crazy.
It's true.
$2.99, but One More Day was $3.99 for 4 issues, and then the first one of Brand New Day was $3.99.
Send them a bill.
That's almost
Until this picks up.
Yeah.
$50 right there.
But
Yeah.
one thing that is starting off like a fucking steamroller downhill with a bunch of kindergartners at the bottom
Oh, damn.
is Ultimate X-Men number 90. It's about fucking time we see the first appearance of Ultimate Apocalypse.
Yes.
This is all. I don't know how they're really working this with. Mr. Sinister seems to be like his avatar
Yeah.
of some sort.
That was interesting, because
Yeah, that was a cool little
they're
twist.
connected in the regular universe, so...
Yeah, and it was basically Sinister gets killed somehow at the end, and all of a sudden his body starts floating up. This isn't really much of a spoiler because it's the first issue of the arc, and
That's him right there.
so we all thought Sinister was dead. Apparently he's alive right at the beginning of the issue, and then he's dead again at the end of the issue, and his body starts floating. The X-Men are arguing, and they're turning around like, "Yo, where'd the dead dude go?" And he's like floating up to the fucking street, and all of a sudden it just turns into Apocalypse, a big explosion, and it's just Apocalypse standing there, and he's like, "Oh, time to destroy the world."
Yeah.
You know, it's they've been building up to this for a long, long time
Seriously.
now.
Teasing
Sinister
us
first
badly.
appeared in like issue 60 or
Yeah,
something
A
like
while
that.
ago.
A while
Just
ago.
mean bastard teasing. I didn't appreciate it at all. Didn't.
I like the way they brought Sinister in as just like a fucking gun-toting lunatic.
Right? The
That was
tattoos and
great.
shit, the white
Yeah.
beard and stuff, like a nut.
Yeah.
Gotta stop banging this bottle.
That was great compared to that fucking like blue armor shit
Yeah.
that they
A
never
lot,
did.
a lot of the character designs in the Ultimate Universe
It's
really
fantastic.
look
I
good.
love
Yeah.
it.
They look really good.
I always said I've yet to find an Ultimate book that I don't like.
Well, I
Ultimate
was-
3 is getting there, but
Yeah.
you know what? I'm still going to give it a chance. 'Cause I know Jeff Loeb, I always enjoyed his work before.
Bye-bye.
He just takes a long time to get into the story. It'll be issue 5 or 6 before you figure out what's going on.
Well, there's only 6 issues in the series.
Oh, is there really?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Oh.
it'll be 5 or 6.
So yeah, it'll be 5 or 6 before we know what's going on.
Yeah, the last issue would basically be everything.
Yeah.
Right. Do you know Mr. Sinister in Spain? You know what his name is?
No.
Senor Sinister.
Nice.
Oh,
Did you guys know that?
Jesus. Yes, yeah, we did.
We did.
Where's that black marker? Stay on your side!
I don't know if you noticed, Puerto Ricans, Italians.
I see how it is.
One Jew's missing and it all goes to hell.
Yep. Missing our big angry Jew today. Adam, feel better.
That's right.
Yeah, I hope that hepatitis can
And
get out this
stop douching with Listerine. Yeah.
shit. Seriously. That doesn't help.
Bleach.
Yeah.
Bleach. So that about covers it for this episode of Pete's Basement. Be sure to drop us a line. Let us know what you think at questions@petesbasement.com. And be sure to check out the regular website, which is petesbasement.com. And before we go, I want to give a big shout out to Nerd World Order. He's one of our top friends on MySpace. He's got some cool t-shirts. It says Nerd World Order. You can find him at www.myspace.com/nerd_world_order. Check him out. He's got some pretty cool stuff. And he's a geek like you and me. I think that about covers it. And
Whoa.
What?
Giants.
Giants. Go
Giants.
blue, baby. Yeah, none of us thought you were gonna do it, but we all had heart.
Patriots.
All you gotta do is have heart.
That was like a horse drowning.
Pete's Basement, take 2.
Down.
I want to thank the Academy. The National Geographic theme song to play. I'm concerned myself with it.
Alright.
With the dragon going roar, roar. And then Father Kennelly touched me.
You were there for that?
I said it was somebody else.
I saw eyes in the tabernacle.
Listen, it goes fat guy Italian, fat guy Italian. That was the rule. We set that rule up. And
Chingado!
Zeta!
Stop moving, Steve. You aren't moving. They're gonna know it's a cutscene.
No, it's still filming. Still filming. We're still filming.